Recording. Confessions, episode 31. Oh, hold on, I'm going to save that. I'm going to wipe over the last one. What's the subject matter?
Discussion on...
Is it race or Black Lives Matter?
Race.
What's race?
Yeah. And race and discussion that needs to be had.
Okay. Okay, confessions, episode 31, race. In 5, 4, 3.
Peace, everybody. Confessions. Peace, everybody. Confessions. Peace, everybody. Confessions. You are listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on 102 Jam. Peace, what's going on, family? Did you miss me, baby? Listen, I am back right now. I'm sorry I had to go on a little hiatus because of this coronavirus going on. But listen, right now I am back. Thank y'all for tuning in with me, staying in with me, and everything, man. Listen, we are back right now, baby. You know what I mean? So today we got a dope topic that we're gonna talk about in the discussion that needs to be had, you know, because it's been on everybody's minds, everybody's hearts. So listen, we're gonna come right back on WJHM 102jams.com. You're back with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea. See y'all in a few, y'all. Peace.
Hey guys, this is TC1, and when I stay in Orlando, I like to stay at the Quality Suites over on International Drive. They're amazing properties, simple rooms in an all-suite hotel with outdoor pool, a restaurant, plus free Wi-Fi and shuttle. Guys, give them a call at 407-363-0332. They're located at 7400 Canada Ave, Orlando, Florida, 32819.
All you dolls out there, this is me, Sizzle. 2019 flew by and my friend still did not have the body she wanted. Then I discovered the solution, the cosmetic surgery place. Yes, cosmetic surgery. Don't spend another minute miserable. Call 407-636-5000. She did. Now my friend is all of that and then some.
Be one of the next 7 callers to receive your breast surgery free with a tummy tuck. Yes, free. Call now, 407-636-5000.
This is Aretha Simons. When I'm driving, I'm listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on 102 Jams.
Are you frustrated with your computer? Tired of waiting for the computer to let you get your work done? Having an IT professional available when you need him can be invaluable to your business. With a Your Computer Solutions monthly service plan, you can enjoy error-free computing and get your tasks done when you want them done. Got a virus or malware warning? Call YCS and let them remotely solve the issue for you. Computer running slow? Give YCS a call and they will remotely fix it. When? Well, right away. On average, our clients are back up and running within 10 minutes of their call. If you want your computer to run smoothly month after month, just get the Your Computer Solutions monthly service plan. Your Computer Solutions is there when you need them. Call us today at 407-826-0810. I repeat, 407-826-0810. Emergency repair when you need it. Call us 407-826-0810.
And once again, we are back with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM 102jams.com. Again, y'all, fam, I'm glad to be back. Happy to be back, man. You know, listen, I had to come back because I know we got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to talk about right now. And also, you know, great news. You know, got to say your boy just got engaged, fam. So listen, it's all good. I'm in love right now. Got my baby with me and everything. So listen, love is definitely in the air. Love is important. Brother's getting married this year. So listen, man, it's all good. But listen, we got a dope topic that we really need to talk about. I mean, you can call it dope, but really it's interesting. We've been having these discussions like all the time, but it's really time to be honest with each other. You know what I'm saying? And honest with your friends of other races and what have you. And we got to talk about race, man. You know, we got to talk about race and everything that's going on right now. And race mostly because I wanted to dispel some rumors about Black people that people seem to think negatively of us, if that makes sense. Meaning, like, you know, there's a lot of things that people think negative about us as Black people that I want to help set the record straight, you know, if I can, you know what I'm saying, or at least set a groundwork so those of y'all that are listening can have a discussion with the peoples who are white, with the peoples that are, you know, like that are Latino, Asian, or what have you. So yeah, you can go back and be like, you know, letting people understand, like, we not all the same way. And that's the first thing I want to discuss, man. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to race, people seem to think that Black people are all monolithic. And that's not the case, man. You know, people seem to think, all right, well, you know, if Tyrone or Boone Shika or somebody all of a sudden, you know, robs a store, they think all of us did that. And that is not the case, man. You know, and we got, and it's like that with everybody, you know what I'm saying? Granted, we all have biases against people of other races. Yeah, I get it. I understand it. But a lot of times, it's particularly when it comes to Black and Latinos, you know, those stereotypes have what I would say are of dire consequences sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So this is why we really need to talk and have an honest discussion about race. And listen, sometimes you might have to preface it like, look, we really need to have this talk. This offends me or what have you. And you're going to have to make other people understand why. You know what I'm saying? Why does this, you know, why does this particular subject or why does this particular issue, you know, bother you? You know what I'm saying? So we have to also dispel the myth that all white people are racist. That's not the case. Not all white people are racist. You know what I'm saying? However, we have to also understand, like, the ones that are out there actually doing stuff and fighting for Black lives and Black Lives Matter, you really don't see. I'm not sure if that's done by coincidence or what have you, but we just don't know. But there are plenty of people who go hard for Black people, like Dr. Jane Elliott, like a Tim Wise, you know what I'm saying? And what's funny is when, you know, even a lot of white folks may seem to think like people like that are like weird. It's like, no, they're just truthful. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Jane, you know, she speaks the truth on a lot of stuff and is not afraid to speak it. You know, in case you never heard who I'm talking about, she's been on Oprah plenty of times. She discussed race. That's what she does. She discusses race, and she's most famous for probably coming up with a test. The eye color test is what she's probably most famous for in regards for helping to explain how race relations work. You should definitely look that up. It is on YouTube. It's a thing that she did back in the 60s with the students that she used to teach. And, you know, it gives a specific idea on what race is like. You know what I'm saying? So we really have to start with this racial issue. And let's start here for once. Like I say, Black people are not monolithic. We are not all ghetto in the mud. We are not all, you know, stealing out there, robbing. And, you know, there seems to be this thing that Black people are not out there fighting against Black on first of all, the thing about Black on Black crime is a misnomer. It's not actually true. It's just that people are going to kill, you know, the people who they're in close proximity to. So really at the end of the day, let's start there. Really at the end of the day, Black on Black crime is really a misnomer. You know what I'm saying? Because white people kill each other the same exact rate that Black people kill each other, and the same with other races as well. If you're going to kill anybody, you're mostly going to kill people who you live around. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not going from, you know, this particular neighborhood to go kill the other people. And no, they're really going to probably more than likely 9 times out of 10 kill their, you know, quote unquote neighbor. So we have to watch what we say about that. You can look this up on the statistics, you know, as well. If I'm not mistaken, it's on the FBI website, as well as possibly statistics like that. A lot of times are often on the CDC website, you know, in terms of like actual statistics on stuff. But the last statistic I saw about that in regards to Black on Black crime in regards to other races was actually off the FBI website. You know what I'm saying? So really, you got to do your research in regards to that as well. You know what I'm saying? Because again, we're not all monolithic. You know what I'm saying? We're not all going to rob you or what have you. That's not the case. You know what I'm saying? And for those of y'all that think like Black people are not doing stuff to actually pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps, yes, we are. And not only that, we're not all, for those of y'all that complain, that's my main thing. For those of y'all that complain that we're not doing anything about Black on Black crime, but we're, constantly, out there because, we're being killed by racists, we're being killed by police, or what have you. There are plenty of brothers and sisters doing everything they can to combat Black on Black crime. You know what I'm saying? Such as Brother Steve Perry up in Connecticut, who is the leader of the school that he has up there, where 100% of the students graduate and get accepted into college. There's a sister in Chicago, I believe, who has a school in Chicago where they graduate 100% of their students, and all of their students get into college. We have LeBron James with the I Promise Academy. You know what I'm saying? That's for mostly low-income students, where of course that includes white people or what have you. But LeBron is doing his part, man. We're making sure that our people stay off the streets and do what they can. The kids get educated. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Rose is the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Where he's doing his part now to give back to our community and make sure that kids have a better tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Omar Finley and his wife Kim Finley. I'm going to have them as a guest soon. I already talked to him about it. He said he will come on. He has a business. They have a business that they run called the Listening Tree. You can go to listeningtree.com for that as well. He's teaching young kids about books, and as well as teaching them how to be entrepreneurs. He has an entrepreneurs academy with the Listening Tree. So definitely go ahead and check him out on that with that. And like I said, he has an entrepreneurship program that I believe he just started, teaching our young kids, to own their own businesses and what have you. So let's dispel that rumor, man. Like we're not doing anything about Black on Black crime. We're doing it. Yeah, we're just doing it in ways that may not be as out there in the media as you think. You know what I'm saying? Steve Harvey, for instance, has these the mentoring camp that he does every year. You know what I'm saying? For young men or what have you. He's doing his part. Also want to mention Jim Brown, of course, with the Amir Can Foundation that he has to keep gangbangers from gangbanging, and also to keep them out of the gangs and what have you. So, before you make that statement, what are Black people doing about Black on Black crime? Do your research first before you blame us for not doing anything about Black on Black crime. There's a lot of us out there doing it. It's just that a lot of us are not on the big scale, like a Black Lives Matter or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So listen, you got to do your research on this stuff, because there's a lot of us out there doing it. You know what I'm saying? And mostly, also, a lot of us are entrepreneurs. As a matter of fact, Black women are the leading statistic in terms of new business owners. So you have to do your statistics on that. Everybody wants to talk about sisters when being the leading cause for what is it, cardiovascular disease or something, or birth, dying in labor, or this being the leading statistic for AIDS and stuff like that. But our sisters are doing well with leading in terms of being number one, the most educated demographic. That's number one. Number two, also leading in, of course, the like I said, being entrepreneurs, business owners, or what have you. So we're doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we really have to attack this conversation with facts, and not only with urgency to dispel these myths, man, that we are not criminals. First and foremost, I see that all the time when we talk about all these brothers and sisters getting arrested, and I see the comments on these things, and people are just like, well, if they didn't commit crimes, they wouldn't have to worry about nothing like that. That is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous argument to, well, listen, I'm peaceful or what have you, but listen, we got to be sure, man, you just can't come up with a broad statement like that, because that often makes you biased. You know what I'm saying? That makes you biased and makes you think that Black people are all one way. No, we're not. You don't want us to think that we're you don't want us to think that all of y'all are racist, and you don't think of all of us as criminals. You know, I know what it's like sometimes to go ahead, man, and think about how and know what it's like to walk down the street and a lady clutch a purse when I'm, walking down the street. And I don't even have a hoodie on and my pants ain't sagging. You know what I'm saying? I'm most times wearing a t-shirt or a collar shirt or what have you with my pants on my behind and minding my own business. And, I'm keeping it moving. For instance, for example, perfect example. I know I've talked about this in the show, but I want to talk about this again. Me and my oldest child took him to the airport to go, for him to go see his biological father, what have you, man. And we were just wearing basic t-shirt and jeans. Both of us had our pants on our behind. We had a white lady on the elevator because we had to go up one level, what have you, to whatever airline he had to get on. And she got nervous as crap. I could see it. He wasn't paying attention, but I could see it. Because like I said, I've been through this before. That lady got so nervous, she got up off the elevator and started walking around the parking lot, I guess, looking for where else she could go. And all I did was just chuckle. You know what I'm saying? All I had to do was just say boom, and she would have hit the fan. You know what I'm saying? Or through the roof or what have you, and try to hit the escape hatch or what have you in the elevator. I wasn't even thinking about her. I was trying to find a way to get my kid to the right gate. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. Like, you got to be mindful of stuff, man, because when we talk about this or what have you, because a lot of times, for all the people that have a negative view of black folks, most of the time, we ain't even thinking about y'all. Let's just be real. We trying to mind our business and trying to get through our day because, sometimes, maybe our supervisor at our job pissed us off. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe we got all these bills we got to pay. Baby mama acting crazy, baby father acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to make it. And I take that back. I don't like to use the word trying no more. We just want to make it to the next day without being harassed in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? So that's the bottom line. Like, a lot of times we just want to be left alone. We ain't bothering y'all, don't bother us. Plain and simple. Like the brother who was harassed in Starbucks or what have you. He was actually there for a business deal, the one that made national news. He was there on a business deal, trying to discuss or want to discuss business. You know what I'm saying? Or the sister who was he fell asleep at what was it, University of Pennsylvania, and she just minding her own business, and all of a sudden she's getting authorities called on her. Just minding her business. She's a student. She was tired. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people just need to understand that where we are. But listen, we're going to come right back, with more of this discussion. You know what I'm saying? You are here again with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on, what is it, y'all? WJHM 102jams.com. We'll be back, y'all, in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. We got more for this discussion. Peace.
Over 40 years, Playhouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of harm. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community, serving orange, Seminole, and Osceola County, contact Playhouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at playhousecfl.org.
Peace, family. Again, this is Brian with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea. Don't want y'all to forget, also, I host a weekly open mic called Writer's Block. Who's next? Every Saturday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday at TNT Cafe. That's TEANDTEA Cafe. Address 127 West Fairbanks Avenue in Winter Park. So again, Writer's Block at TNT Cafe, 127 West Fairbanks Avenue in Winter Park. Peace, y'all.
Our beer show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator bites. You want to have a blast with the entire family? I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now to get tickets today. The website again, bcairboats.com.
Stop! Put that hammer down. If you are frustrated with your computer, we have a better way. Call Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810 and let one of our staff handle it for you. Again, our number is 407-826-0810, and we can work remotely or on site to solve your computer issues. Use your computer hammer-free with your computer solutions at 407-826-0810.
See, Taylor Smith.
That would always gets me.
.com. Couldn't call him at 407-801-2667. Wait, you are not Chuck. My dad can help when people get hurt. He loves to help. If you are ever injured at work or in a car accident, you should call my friend Chuck. Couldn't call him at 407-801-2667. The website again is cSmithLaw.com.
Offices, Orlando.
Does it actually have that much W's? Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call your computer solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling your computer solutions at 407-826-0810.
And once again, family, we are back again with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM 102jams.com. Thank y'all for rocking with me tonight, man. And listen, we got more episodes coming. I'm back again. I'm back. So listen, we are talking about race this evening, man. You know what I'm saying? So getting back to what we was talking about, you know, and let's start here. Let's start here with this segment right here, man. Listen, you know, we always talk about economics and black economics, and particularly black economic empowerment or what have you. And, you know, you always hear the discussion like, why don't black people pull themselves up by their own bootstraps? Well, glad you mentioned it. Because guess what? A lot of times we have. You know what I'm saying? We definitely have. What's been the issue? A lot of the time, the bootstraps been taken. You know what I'm saying? So listen, here's what I'm saying. Right after slavery ended, of course, you know, we were supposed to have the 40 acres and the mule. That never happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe it was President Andrew Jackson, if I'm not mistaken, reneged on that. And you know, with that being said, well, listen, it was promised, and he signed it into law or what have you, that was not going to happen or whatever he did. You know, at the end of the day, just being honest with you. That whole period of Reconstruction was a bunch of terror on our people, and we got to think about it. When we were released from, people were released from slavery, we had no choice at all but to go ahead and make do with what we had to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't like a whole lot of us were going to get hired. You know what I'm saying? Right off the bat, and even if our ancestors did get hired, it wasn't you know going to be fair wages more than likely. You know what I'm saying? So that's why if you spring forward, you know, you have towns and you have sections of cities, such as a Black Wall Street. That's the one that's been talked about the most lately. Yes, the Greenwood section of Tulsa, Oklahoma, of course. A very, very successful Black community. Now, this was during the early part of the 19th century that this was taking part, where it might have been thought of as being unheard of for Black folks to be doing as well as they were back then, but they were. And they pulled themselves, our ancestors pulled themselves up by their own bootstraps, did what they had to do, and supported each other. As a matter of fact, the Black dollar circulated 30 times in the community before it even left back then. You know what I'm saying? So before you pull that whole, you need to pull yourselves up by your home bootstraps, stop looking for a handout type thing. Do your research first and find out, yes, we did. So from that time period, we had no choice but to stay in our own sections of town, but to do all the things that we had to do. Because mind you, Jim Crow was in full effect. So it wasn't like, you know, my grandfathers or what have you, my grandmothers or what have you, were going to be able to walk, you know, to a specific side of town or be in a specific side of town or what have you, and not have to face some type of racial bias. You know what I'm saying? No. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our people stayed on the Black side of town because we had everything that we needed right there. We had Black grocery stores, we had movie theaters, we had restaurants, we had lawyers, doctors, everything that we had was right there in our own communities or what have you. So in case you have not known about, you know, Black Wall Street, please look it up. We had Black Wall Streets everywhere, all across America during the early part of the 19th century. But what happened, of course, as what, a lot of times is what happens, what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma did not have to happen. As a matter of fact, let me show you how successful the Greenwood section of Tulsa was. At the time, Oklahoma only had one airport. You had 6 families in that whole section of Tulsa, Oklahoma. 6 families in that section of Oklahoma that owned airplanes themselves. They was balling, correctly. You know what I'm saying? But what happened was, of course, you had probably the Great Depression probably had something. The Great Depression was a little bit before, a few years after the Black Wall Street riots or what have you. But you had race riots. And what happened is you had a bunch of racist people that came in, burned down the whole section of Greenwood, and therefore you had all those businesses lost. The grocery stores, the supermarkets, the lawyers' offices, the doctors' offices, all those businesses gone because the racists decided that it was time for them to go ahead and burn down the town. They dropped bombs on a whole section of a neighborhood. And you think it's only a problem with us? No, sir. No, man. America has had a problem, has had plenty of times to fix this issue and has not. It's time for America to fix this problem. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, everybody has to look in the mirror, you know what I'm saying, and realize, what is it that I don't understand about the other race? Or what could I have done better? How can we, and a lot of times you hear the excuse, I didn't enslave your people, or I didn't, do anything of that nature. No, but a lot of times you benefit from what, someone racist back in the day did. And a lot of people, a lot of companies have benefited from that. A lot of people a lot of white folks are benefiting from that as well. And it's time that, that gets let out in the open. No, we don't, you may not have enslaved anybody, and no, we may not be, all of us may not be our ancestors or what have you in that time period, but as mankind is going on, we have to correct the mistakes of our ancestors, so that we don't repeat history. You know what I'm saying? We always talk about, history being, history or what have you, or in the past, or get over it. No, if we don't, unfortunately, we have to correct the mistakes that our ancestors made. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying our ancestors, I'm like everybody. We have to correct the mistakes that everybody else made so that our children of tomorrow don't grow up in the same environment or racial climate that we continue to let go, or that we continue to pacify this entire time. Children, people are not born racist. We are taught to be racist. We are taught to be biased or what have you. You know what I'm saying? It's time to really have that conversation, about stuff like that. There's a conversation I'm going to have with my son that a white person is just not going to understand. You know what I'm saying? Such as, number one, I had to have this talk with my son. And he was my youngest son. He was struggling in school or what have you. And it was just, I was frustrated. He would not, do his work or what have you. And come to find out, at the end of the day, he was really just, down and concerned about not knowing how to do the work. And that's after the fact. But before that, I just had to come and time. I broke down crying, like, look, because I was frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And we had gotten an argument or what have you. And I'm like, look, man, I just started just busting out. And I'm not afraid to cry. And especially, I'm not afraid to cry in front of my kids because, at the end of the day, we are human. Even though we're men, we are human. You know what I'm saying? And any man is not allowed to freely express himself as a ticking time bomb. You know what I'm saying? So if we have to cry, fellas, forget that non-manly stuff that, it is, being the man to cry. If you got to shed a tear, man. That don't stop you from making less of a man. It makes you a human, But I told my son, I had to be honest with him, like, look, by the time a Black child is in the 3rd grade, they are determining right now how many jails that they have to build in order, to accommodate the jail population. Can you imagine that? I didn't want to have to tell my son that. Mind you, he was about fourth grade when I told him that. But I had to be honest with him. Like, I want you to do well in school, you know, to be better, what have you. But yes, we have to have that conversation. They are building schools. They are building jails based on how well Black children are doing, Black and Latino children are doing academically by third grade. So that's why we really have to push the education or what have you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have that talk with him about how to handle himself when he's getting pulled over by a police officer. You know, it's different with us because again, I'm not sure if the woman or the guy or the officer I'm getting, I should say, is, you know, racist or not. But I have to act accordingly. You know what I'm saying? I have to keep my cool or what have you. Because the moment that I lose my cool, you know, it could be a life or death situation. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if it were somebody else, you know, who was white, that might not be the case. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm also speaking from experience. I know what it's like to have been pulled over by police and have my car illegally searched. Case in point, there was a situation in Harlem. This was about 2005, maybe 2006. I can't remember. At the old Sugar Shack Cafe location in Harlem, corner 139th and 8th. You know what I'm saying? But that's where the Sugar Shack was. But I left in my car. I had two of my other fellow poets with me, my man Street Prophet 13. I don't know where he is, but wherever you are, fam, you know, shout out to you. And of course, my man, Brother Earl, or what have you. My man, Brother Earl, had asked me for a ride to the train station. So right after I dropped him off, I'm driving. And then I must have, I forgot what street I had turned on, but I made the right turn. Next thing I know, I see the red and blue lights in back of me or what have you. And there's about four cops outside, banging on my window or whatever, banging on my door and trying to pull my car door open without asking for permission. You know, if they had, you know, if I given them permission to search my car, you know what I'm saying? And they asked me all these questions like, okay, ask me all these questions like, do you have any guns in the car? Do you have any drugs in the car? Whatever. And I'm calmly just saying, no. And my man, just me and my man Street Prophet in the car, and we just as calm as can be or what have you, man. And not knowing my rights, not knowing that, especially at that particular point in time, I did not have to step out my car. Knowing I didn't know that at the time. I thought I had to get out or what have you. So I got out of the car. Cop immediately told me, put the hands on my car, starts patting me down. I asked him the first time, I said, why are you pulling me over? And he's just like, we'll get to that in a second. I asked him again, why are you pulling me over? His next statement was, you know, you seem kind of nervous. I'm like, thinking in my head, I'm like reacting sarcastically, but in reality, I'm like, you pulled me over and I didn't do it. You pulled me over, I'm being pressed and I didn't do anything. I'm thinking to myself, how am I supposed to feel? So they pulled us both to the back of the car with our backs to the car. And I asked the cop a third and fourth time, why are you pulling me over? I turned back. They had another cop searching my car through the passenger side. I've done nothing wrong. I have never been arrested a day before in my life. I've never committed a crime or what have you. I've never been arrested. Even to this day, I've never been arrested. You know what I'm saying? For anything, for breaking the law, nothing. And if anything, you know, the least person you have to worry about is me. You know what I'm saying? I am not the person you need to worry about breaking into anything or selling drugs or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I look back, I saw there's a cop searching my car with his flashlight and everything. So I'm like, I asked the cop again. They were done. And of course, what? They didn't find nothing. They found not a thing. So when he comes back and tells me, he pointed at my busted left taillight lens and said that, and pretty much pointed out that was the reason why he pulled me over. he knew he was wrong. He knew he was dead wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we have to go through that constantly. A lot of y'all don't. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all just don't. Now, I've had some great. Before you go off with me about police and whatnot like that, no, I'm not doing it. I'm just saying we have to do something about the ones where, you know, we got to do something about the rotten apples. Because there are plenty of great cops. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, I know some of them as well. And a lot of them have told me my rights, exactly what to do when I do get pulled over. You know what I'm saying? So I'm friends with a lot of them or what have you. It just makes me upset that nothing's being done, you know, when it comes to these police that are killing unarmed Black people. You know what I'm saying? So no, we're not all out there committing crimes. That's a very broad statement when you make a comment like that. You know what I'm saying? So we need to not make no comments like that and just understand, you know, where we're coming from. Because I'm guaranteed, if a lot of y'all put on some makeup and a black hair wig and whatnot, and go through certain places in the neighborhood, you know, with a nice car, what have you, then you probably get to see, you know, what it's like to be us. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that's the hard part. Because I got to sit there and have that talk with my son and about how to handle himself or what have you. I've already had that talk. Long had that talk long before with one of my nephews. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully I got through to him. I don't even think he remembers it, but you know, hopefully he does, because it was so long ago. But we have to have talks like that. And you know, granted, let me say this. What I think is funny sometimes, also on top of all this race and stuff, is when I see white people with more Black pride than Black people. That'd be hilarious to me. You know, and it's really, really, really hilarious to me. And I'm like, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because they know the truth of what happened. As a matter of fact, I had one dude back home on Long Island, going to Roosevelt Field Mall. I was about to walk in the front, not the front, but one of the side doors or what have you, by the parking garage or what have you. And this white guy pulled me over and started giving me his political views. And he's like, man, listen, if you ever became president, I hope you painted black. And it kind of caught me off guard, and I'm just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Because it was my first time seeing somebody who I saw that was white, that was very, I don't want to say militant, but was like very outspoken about, you know, having Black people having rights and stuff like that. And the kicker, this is going, woo! When we talk about Jesus, Lord have mercy, God. When we talk about Jesus, that's always been a hot topic in terms of what race Jesus was or what have you. And you know, that's always been a funny one. But I happened to meet a guy one day who is white or what have you, and he was adamant. And I don't even know how we got on the conversation because of a mutual friend of ours or what have you. He was like, yo, my friend was like, yo, you got to meet this guy. He's a white dude and very serious about a lot of stuff about Black history. And he was like, yo, Jesus was Black. And it made him upset that people keep depicting him as white. And I just thought that was funny in that regard, because I had never seen that before at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's another discussion you have to have, because I'm sure a lot of y'all probably heard me like, what? There was no way Jesus was Black. Well, yeah, you got to do your research on that. I doubt very much so that he was living in a particular climate in that particular area of the world, you know what I'm saying, without dark skin or what have you. So listen, fam, we definitely got to talk about that. We're going to probably come back and talk about that in just a few minutes or what have you. And listen, we will be right back to talk a little bit more about this on WJHM 102jams.com with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea. Grab your people, tell them to come back and listen to it with you. Listen to it with you. Come back, fam. We'll be back in just a few minutes after these commercials. All right, y'all, we'll be back. Peace.
This is Aretha Simons. When I'm driving, I'm listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on 102 Jams.
All you dolls out there, this is me, Sizzle. 2019 flew by and my friend still did not have the body she wanted. Then I discovered the solution. The cosmetic surgery place. Yes, cosmetic surgery. Don't spend another minute miserable. Call 407-636-5000. She did. Now my friend is all of that and then some.
Be one of the next 7 callers to receive your breast surgery free with a tummy tuck. Yes, free. Call now, 407-636-5000.
Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trade, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com. The Tribune Show would like to thank one of our awesome sponsors, SportsChannelUS.com. These guys are very, very cool. They bring 21st century surface drainage solutions to reality. They can do corporate and government work. These are the guys that make roads and bridges safe in the rain. You can see all about them at SportsChannelUS.com. That website again is SportsChannelUS.com. Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play the game.
Call Your Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810. Mid-State Fire has been providing top-quality fire equipment for 3 generations to the Central Florida. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call Mid-State Fire today at 407-246-8855. Get your fire extinguishers and emergency light team for both your home and businesses by visiting www.midstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855. The Tribune Show would like to thank one of our dedicated sponsors, Custom Design Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering, to trophies and awards. They can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0372.
And we are back again, y'all, once again with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM102jams.com. Thank y'all again for listening to this topic about race, man. Again, just want to make sure that we do our due diligence, to finally do like Dr. King said, and what I'm saying, and just in his I Have a Dream speech, and just judge each other by the content of our character. You know what I'm saying? Because it's to deal with this race issue again. Still, every year since this country was founded, it's getting ridiculous right now. You know what I'm saying? It's gotten ridiculous right now. Time is up, and it's time for us just to finally look at each other. You know what I'm saying, and be able to look at each other just based on our characteristics, our personalities, rather than just a broad spectrum. Because that one person who you thought was, racist, or that thought it was going to rob you, might be the person that's going to save your life, or might be the person that's going to help you out in a time of need, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure God is not sitting in heaven right now saying to himself, he's only going to let this race of people in, or he's going to let this race of people in, or what have you. I'm pretty sure, because if he wasn't, then he wouldn't be who he said he is. He wouldn't be who he said he is, and he is the I am. So, and of course, whatever he says, goes, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm pretty sure he just doesn't care about race at all. He cares about people's hearts and people's minds. And right now, that's what we should be doing. And because it should, and plus also, it should not be left up to children. No disrespect. With our kids, you do your part. But it shouldn't, but the adults should not have to be learning from children. It's the children should be learning from adults. And unfortunately, when you look at children these days, A lot of times, as long as we don't teach them to hate somebody or to be hateful of somebody, children will play with just about anybody, any kid there is, regardless of race, creed, religion, or what have you. They're just, as my pastor has always said, they're anointed to play. You know what I'm saying? And we need to have that mentality, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to have. We need to have that mentality. Now, granted, at your own pace or what have you, at your own time, I get it. But listen, the whole thing about calling the cops on everything that black people do it's gotten ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? If you can't handle your own dispute without calling the cops, then mind your business. And I mean, I'm sorry to have to sound harsh like this because it's not. I don't mean to. And those who truly know my personality know my personality. But I want to make sure that this thing stops before it happens to somebody. Before number one, I get harassed again, and before it happens to somebody else that I particularly know. You know, because people are calling the cops on black people for the most ridiculous things and the craziest things, like the brother who got the cops pulled out, called on him or what have you, because he was just having a cookout out in Oakland. Just having a cookout in a public park, minding his business. The little girl who, was being harassed by the one lady for selling water, and the lady was asking her if she had a permit. Like, really, for real? You know, because when do you have to have a permit to sell stuff like that? I can remember kids selling lemonade and lemonade stands on the block since for eons. You know what I'm saying? So since when, there's a little girl needs to do that. It's ridiculous. We are already stressed out. Already. The last thing we need y'all to do is add more stress in our life. And that's the reason why a lot of us act, the way that we do a lot of times in situations like that, because we're already stressed. Take the foot off our necks already. Enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? So, we have to really talk about that now. On the other hand, my brothers and sisters, we do have to realize that also, not every white person is racist. You know what I'm saying? At all. There are a lot of, like I said, just like there are a lot of brothers and sisters doing their part to stop, black on black crime and stuff like that. There are a lot of white folks actually, doing a lot of stuff that they can to kind of help our community as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like a Dr. Jane Elliott, like a Tim Wise, and a few others. You know what I'm saying? But you have to do the research as well on that. We just can't assume everybody is one way. You know what I'm saying? And just believe that everybody believes, the same or what have you. But that's not the case. Because there's nothing funnier to me than when somebody, a racist white person, going up to another white person and sharing like a racist joke, thinking that they're going to find it funny. And that white person that's not racist puts that racist person in their place. That is hilarious. And, they feel so ignorant, or they feel so dumb at that point in time when they get put in their place or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So we have to have these conversations, man. You know what I'm saying? And listen, let's be real. Like, people make fun of Latinos for always, doing the yard work and stuff like that. Listen, they are busting their behind to make a living, period. Regardless. You know what I'm saying? And they making that paper, they making that money, you know what I'm saying? And they doing their part. And if you really sit down with a friend of yours that's Latino, they will tell you how exactly they do that with their families and what have you, man. You know what I'm saying? They're being entrepreneurial, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's funny when people make fun of them for that or what have you, and a lot of times they own their business doing that, you know what I'm saying? So, be mindful of that, you know what I'm saying? So we have to think about that or what have you. And, granted also, not everybody who is Muslim or who is of the religion of Islam is a terrorist, or what do you call that? Not just a terrorist, or particularly with our brothers and sisters in the nation, a black militant, you know what I'm saying, or what have you, or what is perceived to be a black militant, you know what I'm saying? You have to watch that as well. Islam, and I'm speaking as a Christian, and from what I've learned, Islam is a religion of peace. I probably would not have known that, if I did not do my research and have friends and family members that are Muslims as well. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're going to talk about that, then, Christians as well got to talk about some of the stuff that's going on in Christianity. You know what I'm saying? So we really need to talk about that with, racists hiding behind the flag, hiding behind Jesus and whatnot, which is ridiculous, because I'm pretty sure Jesus wasn't racist. And, we all believe that Jesus was, most of us now as Black people believe that Jesus was Black or know that Jesus was Black. And that's another thing. Before I go, man, I got to get this out, because there's been a lot of concern about people saying, why do Black people worship Christianity or what have you? Let me explain something to you briefly, real quick. Christianity had already existed in Africa long before European settlers came and brought the religion over to America. So it was already in Africa, about 1,000 or so years before, saying that, the slavers brought that over here to our ancestors. So we really need to talk about that as well, because the oldest Bible is the Ethiopian Coptic Bible. That's the oldest Bible in the world. But listen, that's the end of my time. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's not the end of my time, but this is the end of this particular segment. But come back, WJHM 102jams.com with Confessions of Brian T. Bethea. We'll be back for the last segment, y'all. All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Peace out.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of trauma. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community, there's an orange, signal, and audio account. Contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousefl.com.
We had someone.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play a game.
Call Your Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that
I
computer
thought I
up
memorized
and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810. Hi, my name is Javier Boy. I work with Your Computer Solutions. If your computer is not working, my dad can fix it. He can fix it on-site or remotely. Call him at 407-826-0810 and tell him Javier sent you. That's me. My phone number again is 407-826-0810.
Hey guys, this is TC1, and when I stay in Orlando, I like to stay at the Quality Suites over on International Drive. They're amazing properties, simple rooms in an all-suite hotel with outdoor pool, a restaurant, plus free Wi-Fi and shuttle. Guys, give them a call at 407-363-0332. They're located at 7400 Canada Ave, Orlando, Florida, 32819.
Peace, family. Again, this is Brian with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea. Don't want y'all to forget, also, I host a weekly open mic called Writers Block. Who's next? Every Saturday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday at TNT Cafe. That's TEAAND Cafe. Address 127 West Fairbanks Avenue in Winter Park. So again, Writers Block at TNT Cafe, 127 West Fairbanks Avenue in Winter Park. Peace, y'all.
All you dolls out there, this is me, Sizzle. 2019 flew by and my friend still did not have the body she wanted. Then I discovered the solution. The cosmetic surgery place. Yes, cosmetic surgery. Don't spend another minute miserable. Call 407-636-5000. She did. Now my friend is all of that and then some.
Be one of the next 7 callers to receive your breast surgery. Free with a tummy tuck. Yes, free. Call now at 407-636-5000.
This is Aretha Simons. When I'm driving, I'm listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on 102 Jams.
And we are back again with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM102jams.com. Listen, y'all, thank y'all for hanging with me. My first time back in about 2 months. I do appreciate it. While we were talking about race, hopefully y'all take this and go ahead and discuss this with your friends, with your family, or what have you, man. Just be just be open-minded about what you might learn. You know what I'm saying? Especially with everything going on, you know, with these statues of Confederate people coming down and stuff like that, man. Find out why, you know, Black people take offense to that. You know what I'm saying? So we just want to say thank y'all for listening to me, man. We're going to be back more often. Again, my social media, follow me online. I got, you know, 2 Facebook pages you can follow. That is Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on Facebook. So that's the podcast. And of course, I have Brian T. Bethea Confessions on, that's my artist page. You can definitely go ahead, like those pages, man, follow them and everything. On YouTube, you can find me, of course, Brian T. Bethea on YouTube. Instagram, The Phoenix 516 at Instagram. Once again, The Phoenix, ThePhoenix 516 at Instagram.com, along with Writers Block Orlando at Instagram.com. And then, of course, you know, we have Twitter, also The Phoenix 516 at Twitter, and Writers Block WS at Twitter for all things Writers Block. And also follow me on ReverbNation.com. I know I got a lot of social media, but I got to get it all out there, man. You can never have too much for people to follow you. You know what I'm saying? So www.reverbnation.com/Brian, BRIAN T Bethea, BETHEA. You can follow me there as well. Of course, I got my my latest EP streaming right now called Re-Rise of the Phoenix. You can find that on Spotify under Water Walkers. That's Walkers spelled with an AS at the end, not ERS. Looking for Water Walkers on Spotify. You can find my latest EP, which is Re-Rise of the Phoenix. It's all poetry. Of course, you can also find it on Station Head as well. I believe I'm also on iHeart Radio, and of course on YouTube. Search that under the Water Walkers YouTube channel. You'll be able to find my EP on there as well. You know, please, I've been getting a lot of love with it, man. I am thanking God for the amount of streams I've been getting on that. Thank y'all so much for supporting that particular project. Listen, we will be back more often. You know, I'm back, baby, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? So definitely holler at your boy. Once again, Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM 102 Jams. Of course, we will definitely keep in contact with me. Follow me on my social media, like I said, family, and discuss this with your peoples. Discuss race with your peoples, man. Listen, we'll be back next week, y'all. WJHM102jams.com. See y'all next week, family. Peace out. Enjoy.
Are you frustrated with your computer? Tired of waiting for the computer to let you get your work done? Having an IT professional available when you need him can be invaluable to your business. With Your Computer Solutions monthly service plan, you can enjoy error-free computing and get your tasks done when you want them done. Got a virus or malware warning? Call YCS and let them remotely solve the issue for you. Computer running slow? Give YCS a call and they will remotely fix it. When? Well, right away. On average, our clients are back up and running within 10 minutes of their call. If you want your computer to run smoothly month after month, just get the Your Computer Solutions monthly service plan. Your Computer Solutions is there when you need them. Call us today at 407-826-0810. I repeat, 407-826-0810. Emergency repair when you need it. Call us 407-826-0810. And that's a wrap. And